Well, the first time my father ever referred to himself as Dick that I can find was the 18th of February 1944. This is visible. He also referred to himself by his real name, which was Desmond, shortened to Des, and he signs this letter in both names. There we are. After that, he used the name intermittently until he changed it permanently on the 12th of December 1945. Unfortunately, it's a torn letter, but I think that date is visible. And then there we have the narrative to the effect that he wishes to be known as Dick until the day he meets the devil. I don't know if I've done that very well. For 50 years at least, everyone knew my father as Dick. Even my brother and myself were instructed to refer to him as Dick, not Dad. I broke that code when I was 8, and my school friends, such as they were, not many, were making fun of me calling my father Dick, so I reverted to Dad, and it didn't go down very well. Anyway, the point is that for 50 years, at least, he was known as Dick, not Desmond, his real name, to the point that his employers sometimes addressed letters to Richard Oakley. Well, Richard was not ever his name. It was Desmond, as I said. Dick, and I've discovered assorted other aliases. But according to his account of Fiona's death, Ellen, my stepmother, most definitely knew him as Dick. And according to his account over the phone, she said, Dick, something terrible has happened. My brother, I think I've said this, I don't want to be repetitive, referred to him as Dick in his eulogy, known to family and friends as Dick, he said. So I don't want there to be any doubt as to the fact that it was an alias. It was a very well-known alias, everyone knew it. And, as I say, he reported my stepsister's death to me before anyone else, apart from a man called Robin Stoddart, who was also present, knew that she was dead. Things happened very fast after the inquest, which was on the 21st of April 1994. On the 25th of April, 4 days later, a Monday, my brother took my father from Southampton, where he lived. He'd spent 19 years in London, 5 days a week, but at least 30 years in Southampton simultaneously. He never ever lived in Thorne, Doncaster, which my brother said he did on his death certificate. But anyway, he never lived there. He was there for 5 weeks. He was taken there 4 days after the inquest by my brother, which was the 25th of April. On the 18th of May, my brother and sister-in-law phoned me to say, your father is dying of cancer. If you want to see him, come. Well, I'm sorry, but I knew my father, and I only wanted to see him to be sure that he was dead. So I got there on the 29th of May. Oh, my sister-in-law yelled out, you must come now if you want to see him. He's got a few months. I got there on the 29th of May, 11 days after the phone call. And 4 days after that, I went for a walk for an hour. And when I got back, My brother greeted me in the driveway and said, "He's gone." Well, same scenario. He was in an armchair. He appeared to be dead. I didn't check, but he did appear to be dead. However, he was signed off in the name of Desmond Oakley, not Dick. No reference to Dick, and I thought that was very important because no one knew him as Desmond. Dick didn't appear on his death certificate, and neither did his home address in Southampton. Dick did not appear on the headstone, although I fought for it to be there. The council said it had to be in his name at birth, even though just by being known as Dick for 50 years, that's legally okay. I felt very strongly that Dick had yet to be written off, that Dick was not dead. I understand that sounds ludicrous, but it was a very strong feeling that he had to die in the name of Dick. Years later, I started looking for a death entry for Dick Oakley. Also sounds ludicrous. However, in 2011, I found it. It takes about 10 years, 9 or 10 years, to appear on public microfiche. And Dick Oakley had died in the year 2000. What made it more interesting was that he had died in the alias of Dick Oakley, and the death informant had made that extremely clear. He'd also died in a district where he frequently used to work. My father frequently used to work, so of course I had to get that death certificate. I thought, how many people use the alias of Dick Oakley? It can't be that many. The real name, apparently, of this second alias Dick Oakley was Herbert Frederick, which threw me a little at first. Anyway, when I got the death certificate, I got the shock of my life, because this alias Dick Oakley had died on the 6th anniversary of my stepsister's death, at which my alias Dick Oakley had made clear to me he was present. The death informant had my grandmother's name, which is to say the name of my father's mother, and this second alias Dick Oakley was in the same trade, and he had COPD, which can be genetic, and I now have that disease. Having never smoked in my life, it's generally a smoker's disease. I'm not sure why I'm making this recording, but it's important to me that the second alias Dick Oakley is most definitely tied to the first alias Dick Oakley by the date of his death. It wasn't just the 6th anniversary, it was the same day of the week. It was a Wednesday, Woden's Day. And what I have not said so far is that my father was a World War II Nazi, and they had attempted to establish a Germanic religion, which largely revolved around Scandinavian mythology, i.e. Odin, Woden, and Wednesday is named after him. I'm ending there because I think this won't record much longer.